as long as they're not troll questions or repeated
Oh no.
questions that I've been answered a million times.
Yeah. Well, these are serious. How did the Helly Hansen thing come about?
I I
Just you.
I so I did some business schooling on
Oh,
technology
yeah.
like program,
Hmm.
and I got hurt, and when I got hurt, my wife ended up getting a job at one of their places, and somebody during that time guided my wife to that place or whatever, and at the same time, some people were like, "Your phrase, man, your phrase."
Yeah. Wow.
And because it reminded me of all my other stuff, if that makes sense. It was just a puzzle piece of my neuroplasticity, and so I was like, oh yeah, cool. And then if you were paying attention to the very beginning, uh, I was recovering from a lot of physical trauma and psychological trauma, and being asked to do things. My house was repeatedly being broken in. I was being repeatedly abducted out of my house and
Was
removed
that the
in.
government or?
No, just bad. There's always bad people in the community that pretend they're
Oh,
representatives
okay.
of the government, and nobody really questions anything.
Hmm.
And me and my wife both have autism, and some really bad situations arose from that.
People
You have
making fun of you
the
or?
freedom to roam anywhere you want outside of your marriage type of thing is the way
Oh
Helly
yeah.
Hansen was trying to
Hmm.
sell the shit to me in the beginning. While other people were they're not paying attention in the very beginning. We were in this situation repetitively, uh, having people record how things go bad. And so they, some employees and some people just making themselves look really, really bad, saying, we're the
Hmm.
type of company that will destroy a family so we can take a slogan and da 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 da. And I'm like, and at the same time, people were asking me to do bad things for a long time. You want us to
Oh
stop
yeah.
breaking into your house? You
I get
want
that.
this? You have to do something to yourself. You have to do
Hmm.
something to your wife. You have to do something to da da da. It to the point where people actually showed up, and I called the bluff. I took they gave me a pistol, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hurt my wife. I'll
Hmm.
this is what it takes for you guys to stop harassing us. And
Hmm.
at that point, there was a struggle in the back of a vehicle because they were, a little bit concerned. At that
Hmm.
point, going, oh crap, he called our bluff. I think most people probably fall in line and do whatever
Oh
they
yeah.
ask.
Uh,
I think 99% of the population probably falls in line with whatever the request was. I did the opposite.
that's
And at
true.
that point, I think they went, shit, how would we explain a bullet from our service rifle in the back of his head,
Yeah, I can. Hmm.
in our car, in his cul-de-sac? Because they
Yes.
came to get me in the middle of my cul-de-sac, right? And there was kids paying, like, my wife was like, don't leave me. It was a big old, she was making noise, so there's kids paying attention.
Yeah,
you
everyone's
know,
watching. They
uh,
can't do anything.
in the very beginning of the sequence, I volunteered to allow kids to watch things in the international community, and it was just a big old horror storm.
Hmm.
And I repeatedly just, I've been reset and started over and over again, and you know, literally, people trying to cover up some horrible things. And I'm like, the whole point of the slogan is honesty and integrity.
Is yeah. Hmm.
Right?
Wow.
You know what I mean? The whole point of the slogan is honesty and integrity. And at this point, I'm a whatever it is, because employees decided to break company policy and break ADA laws and
Yeah.
HIPAA laws and I mean, think of it, just commit felonies. You had employees at Helly Hansen commit felonies against a disabled
I
person they
didn't know
didn't
that.
think was going to get better, so nobody would ever
Hmm.
pay attention.
Hmm.
Unbeknownst to them, let people ask you, why are you famous all outside of the country?
Because
I
them.
volunteered for before people were
Hmm.
following me because I kept getting abducted, and the kids were like, "Hey, you got to see this shit."
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
As a kids, in a community, we got gossip spreads,
Very quickly, yes.
right? You know what I mean? So the adults are trying to put a kibosh on something, while the kids are like,
Hmm.
"Holy shit!" There's the military, or there's what's
Yeah.
going down. You know what I mean? It just spread, and on private Snapchats and
Getting
WhatsApps
tactical.
and private internet,
Yep.
there's kids talking about my abductions and being exploited, and it was just awful.